Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I was just sitting around watching some of the media content that's been coming out with Jermell Charlo, because Jermell Charlo is in Texas to support his fellow Texan Earl Spence, as Earl Spence gets prepared to take on Dennis Ugas later on tonight. But listen, I wanted to talk about some of the comments he made and just give my little take on it. Now, you know, I've gone on record before, like, Jermell Charlo has become one of my favorite fighters in boxing. He is one of my favorite fighters in boxing. It wasn't always like that. I didn't like Jermell Charlo, a couple years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, but over time he's won me over because he's a true dog, and then he's a true dog when it comes to stepping inside that square circle. You see what I'm saying? But, he was asked about what his potential plans could be should he be victorious against Brian Castano and become undisputed. He was talking to, obviously the question he was asked was, would you fight Terence Crawford? And one point that he brought up was like, why should Crawford get the opportunity at me when he's not even in my weight class, And it's funny to me because when we look at the great fights in boxing history, whether it be like Billy Conn versus Joe Louis, or Duran versus Leonard, or Leonard versus Hagler, these are all fights where you had a guy who wasn't just a good little man, but an exceptional little man that moved up to challenge another exceptional fighter in a higher weight division, So the examples of these things in box history are you can go on and on and on about the guys that have moved up a weight class to chase greatness, And obviously, we don't know what's next for Crawford, but, if the rumors are true and he does sign PBC, or if he does truly want to fight the winner of Castaño Charlo and it winds up being Charlo, then he's the exact kind of guy, in my humble opinion, he's the kind of guy like a Billy Conn, like a Roberto Duran, like a Sugar Ray Leonard, who are exceptional fighters who may have been smaller or turned pro in lighter divisions, but can still go up to bigger weight classes and challenge a guy who's the number one guy for all the marbles. He's that kind of guy. So Charlo putting this bullshit excuse up of like, oh well, I don't know, he shouldn't be able to just jump the line because he's not in my weight class. It's bullshit. All right, it's bullshit. And really, I like Jermell Charlo. I think he's a dog in that ring. I have a high opinion of him, but when it comes to the subject of Terence Bud Crawford, something in his energy just ain't quite right. He says he will knock him out. He'll do this and he'll do that, but then he contradicts himself by saying that by putting up excuse after excuse after excuse of why he would shoot the opportunity down if it ever came his way. So that's strike one against Charlo. Then his weight class is very, very intriguing. There's a lot of names. Recently we had that great fight with Lubin and Fundora, which is one of the best fights of the last couple of years. Fundora really put a beat down on Lubin, but Lubin also went out on his shield like a real warrior should. So it was a fight where nobody really lost. Lubin's reputation was enhanced. Fundora and really announced himself to the world on that fight, and he's a guy that people want to see against all the top guys at 54. And his name was also brought up to Charlo. And Charlo kind of got on his whole like Canelo A-Side Diva tactical bullshit when he said that fuck Fundora and fuck Crawford. They should go fight each other. I'm busy. And this is a recurring theme in boxing. Like, we've seen it with Canelo. We're seeing it now with Conor Benn and David Avanesian and Florian Marku as Marku and Avanesian are chasing the Conor Benn fight. Now we're seeing it with Charlo. So it's becoming like cool now. Like, call me crazy, but what happened to the days when guys were eager to make the big fights, make the big money fights, and prove to the world that they had the heart, that they were dogs, that they that they had the division on lock. We're just seeing too many guys trying to sound like the A-Side and these divas, and it's just like, look, man, Charlo, we know you're a dog, we know you can fight. That's been proven time and time again. I'll never sit here and question Jermell Charlo's heart, but You know, he's acting a little funny when it comes to Terence Crawford, and he's starting to act a little funny when it comes to Fundora, because it's like, man, like, you are the so-called, you know, you're little Charlo, but we look at you as big Charlo because you're doing more than your twin brother. Fundora is a guy that loves to come forward and throw a lot of punches. He don't know how to fight no other way. He don't know how to box off his back foot. He don't know nothing but being tall, getting on top of him, barreling down on top of you, and throwing hella combinations and beating you up and giving you a slow beating. You know, you're a guy that has made a living as you've ascended in your career. You've made a living becoming one of the best 154-pounders potentially ever. Because, like, if he beats Castaño, in my opinion, he's one of the best 54-pounders that ever did it. Straight up. People may think that's crazy, but I think that, you know, you would have to say he's one of the best 54-pounders of all time. His style plays right into what you do best, which is, you know, your power punching. So I don't see why he's getting on this A-side bullshit. Because, look, if you beat Castaño and you stay at 54, you're going to have to fight Fundora. Because Fundora just beat Lubin for the interim belt. And by being interim belt, that thus in turn makes you mandatory challenger. So he's going to be announced as your mandatory challenger at some point. And you're going to have a decision to make on your hands. Do you want to be the guy that takes on the towering Inferno, that you know, a guy in Fundora who's just beating up on everybody that gets in the ring with him? Or do you want to be, you know, a guy that conveniently vacates and just fights another random mandatory or moves up to 160 because 160 is weak as hell right now? You know, that's what it is. You know, I like Charlo, but he is acting real funny when it comes to Terence Crawford and obviously now Sebastian Fundora. So listen, I'm looking forward to what he's got going on in his career. Looking very forward to the Castaño fight. I want him to win the fight because I'm a fan of his and I love what he brings to the sport. I love the energy. I love his interviews. I love how he goes out there and just leaves it all in the ring every single time, whether he wins or loses. But that's my opinion on it. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. What do you think of Charlo playing the A-side BS tactics, saying that, you know, he's busy and that these guys should all go fight each other when all reality, he only has one fight lined up, not two. So, yeah, leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. Like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding, Daniel. So until next time, take care. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.